All right, good morning, everybody. It's Logan here with an election update for Thursday, November 5th. We're going to look at how things stand with the presidential election. I will be doing a congressional election update later today as more and more of those races get called. By the way, thank you for those of you who responded with comments to my video last night, just with how you're doing. I think the number one word that I saw across all those comments was the word stressed. I don't know how many people said that they feel stressed, and I'm right there with you, folks. So let's head over to the map now and look at where things stand this Thursday morning. All right, y'all, big picture here. Where do we stand right now? Biden has 253 confirmed electoral votes. Trump has 214. If you type election map into Google, you will see Biden with 264 electoral votes. That is because Google is pulling data from the Associated Press, which has already called Arizona for Biden. However, many other news outlets have not yet called Arizona yet. And as we're going to talk about in this video, Biden's lead in Arizona is shrinking. Now, just for the sake of making progress here and not wasting time, I'm going to give Alaska to Trump in my map here, okay? Because I think that's a pretty done deal. Alaska has not been called yet, but everyone's fairly certain that Alaska will go to Trump. So essentially 253 to 217 is what we're looking at, with the 5 remaining states to be called being Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. What's Biden's path right now? If Biden wins Pennsylvania, it's done. He gets to 273, right? Which is obviously over the 270 you need to win the presidency. But even if he doesn't win Pennsylvania and Pennsylvania goes to Trump, he can still win with any 2 of these other 4 states, right? If he holds on to his lead in Nevada and Arizona, he's at 270. Boom. And any other of these 2 states here, even without Pennsylvania, Biden would clinch the presidency, right? And keep in mind that Nevada and Arizona currently lean in Biden's favor. Trump then obviously has to win Pennsylvania, right? Because if Biden wins Pennsylvania, then Biden wins. Okay. Trump also has to win Georgia, because check this out. Even with Pennsylvania, if Trump wins North Carolina, Arizona, and Nevada, Trump is still 1 electoral vote short of the presidency, right? So Trump would have to win Pennsylvania and Georgia, okay, to get the presidency, and then 2 out of these 3 remaining states, right? Pennsylvania and Georgia, plus 2 of the 3 out of Nevada, Arizona, and North Carolina. If he wins the smallest 2, Nevada and Arizona, boom, he's there at 270. And keep in mind that these the 3 remaining eastern states here, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia, they currently lean towards Trump. However, more votes are being counted. We're going to talk about each state individually. These 2 states here, Nevada and Arizona, these western states here, they are currently leaning toward Biden. Now, Trump's lead in Georgia and Pennsylvania has been dwindling as more and more votes are being counted. In my election update yesterday morning, Trump's lead in Georgia was 2.2%. It is now, let's go to the map here, it is now a mere 0.4%. Georgia is expected to finish counting today. If Biden does successfully flip Georgia, all he would have to do is win 1 more state to clinch the presidency. And he gets the smallest one, Nevada there, he's at 275. Boom. So if Georgia does go to Biden's favor, all Biden has to do is either flip Pennsylvania or North Carolina, or hold on to his current leads in Nevada and Arizona. Now let's talk about Pennsylvania. In my update yesterday morning, Trump's lead in Pennsylvania was a whopping 9.1%. It is now a mere 2.1%. as more mail-in and early voting ballots from Democratic-leaning areas such as Philadelphia and Pittsburgh are being counted. Pennsylvania is expected to release another round of results this morning. All right, now let's talk about North Carolina. In my update yesterday morning, Trump's lead in North Carolina was 1.4%. And what is it now? Wait for it. It's still 1.4%. This is because North Carolina has not updated its totals since yesterday morning, because it's not going to start counting the absentee and provisional ballots until November 12th. Why November 12th? Because in North Carolina, mail-in ballots postmarked by Election Day will be accepted if they're received on or before November 12th. So we may have to wait at least a week to see the final tally in North Carolina. I personally think that out of the 3 states that Trump currently has a lead in, North Carolina is his strongest state. Biden would have to win about 2/3 of the remaining votes in North Carolina for Biden to flip North Carolina. However, as we've seen day to day, Trump's lead in both Georgia and Pennsylvania is dwindling. Biden is catching up in those states, but will it be enough to flip one of those states in Biden's favor is the question. As I said, if Biden flips Pennsylvania, it's game over. If Biden flips Georgia, all he has to do is win one more state, either flip Pennsylvania or North Carolina, or hold on to his lead in one of Nevada or Arizona. Now, what about the states that Biden leads in, Nevada and Arizona? Well, in Nevada, the numbers have not changed since yesterday. However, Nevada election officials are expected to release updated numbers here at 12 p.m. Eastern time, which is obviously in just a few moments from now. Obviously, Biden's margin in Nevada is super thin right now, 0.6%. But remember that many of the remaining votes to be counted in Nevada are from Democratic-leaning areas, such as the Las Vegas area. And similarly, if Biden wins in Nevada, if he holds his lead in Nevada, all he has to do is win one more state, right? Even the smallest state, Arizona, which he currently leads in, would still get him to 270. All right, now let's talk about Arizona. Arizona is the one state out of the remaining brown states here that currently looks better for Trump than it did yesterday morning. In my update yesterday morning, Biden's lead in Arizona was 3.4%. It is now down to 2.4%, a full percentage point down. What happened? Maricopa County released the results from more than 140,000 ballots last night and this morning. These ballots favored Trump 57% to Biden 40%, with 3% going to others. Arizona estimates that around 470,000 more votes remain to be counted, according to azcentral.com. If these remaining 470,000 votes in Arizona go 57% Trump, 40% Biden, and 3% other, Trump could flip Arizona. Check out the math here. This column here is the current vote count in Arizona, according to the New York Times. Okay, we have Biden over Trump. There are still, according to azcentral.com, 470,000 more votes in Arizona to be counted. If these votes are split 57 to 40, Trump-Biden, which is the same ratio as that last batch of Arizona votes were counted for Maricopa County, then Trump would get an additional 267,000 votes approximately. Biden would get another 188,000 votes approximately. So that would put Trump over Biden in Arizona by a mere 11,000 votes. However, keep in mind that the remaining 470,000 ballots are from counties across the state, many of which have more Democrats in them proportionately than Maricopa County does. And some of these counties are very blue. Also, there remain 36,000 provisional ballots to be counted in Maricopa and Pima counties, and provisional ballots tend to lean toward Democratic candidates. All right, folks, that's where we're at right now, Thursday morning. I will check in later if anything changes. I will also be doing a congressional election update later today as more of these state and local races are being called. All right, folks, that is where we stand today, Thursday morning. I'm eagerly awaiting updates from Nevada. They said they would release an update at 12 p.m. Eastern time, which is obviously in just a few moments. Georgia said they would complete counting today, and obviously still waiting to see what becomes of the remaining votes in Arizona and Pennsylvania. I think North Carolina is more or less more of a sure deal for Trump, but it's that Senate race that you got to watch in North Carolina, Tom Tillis versus Cal Cunningham. So I'm going to be doing a congressional election update later today as more and more of those votes get called. But for now, that is my presidential election update. Thank you so much for watching, folks. Let me know how you're doing in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.